Welcome, Focus Learners, to this explainer. Okay, today we are unpacking the Federal Signal Q2 2026 earnings call. Now, I know, earnings calls can sometimes feel like this barrage of dry corporate jargon and endless spreadsheets, right? Well, not this one. Today, we're talking about massive heavy machinery and, quite frankly, massive heavy profits. We're going to break down exactly how Federal Signal is turning these giant steel machines into incredible financial returns. Let's get right into the data. So, Section 1. A monster financial quarter, the bottom line up front. Let's just start with the big one, $670 million. That is Federal Signal's explosive Q2 net sales figure. And what makes this so remarkable isn't just the sheer size of the number itself, but the massive leap it represents. I mean, that figure is up an astounding $106 million, or about 19% compared to the second quarter of last year. This single top-line metric really establishes the scale of this quarter's success, and it perfectly sets the stage for the massive, across-the-board growth we're about to unpack. Now, it's one thing to sell a lot of product, right? But it is a whole other game to translate those sales effectively into pure profit. And they did. We're looking at a 21% spike in net income, reaching an incredible $86.1 million for the quarter. Considering Federal Signal manufactures heavy-duty street sweepers and industrial vacuums, I guess you could playfully say they are quite literally cleaning up the balance sheet right now. And this growth? It just builds aggressively across the board. We're seeing these incredibly uniform, rapid-fire spikes basically everywhere you look. Operating income is up 21%, hitting $118.2 million. Adjusted EBITDA is up 22% to a record $144.4 million. And, for the investors tracking that per share value, adjusted earnings per share is sitting at $1.42, which marks yet another 21% jump. Guys, it is genuinely rare to see a manufacturing company hit a 20+% growth metric on virtually every major line item all at exactly the same time. But there's actually even more beneath that top-line beat. See, this wasn't just driven by price hikes or gobbling up other companies. They achieved a really solid 6% organic growth, pulling in $31 million purely from their existing operations scaling up. On top of that, their adjusted EBITDA margin actually expanded from last year, strengthening to a highly efficient 21.5%. Oh, and how did they reward their shareholders for this monster quarter? Well, they actively bought back shares, repurchasing roughly 2% of their entire market cap. That absolutely screams internal confidence from the leadership team. Which brings us to Section 2, Vehicles Powering the Profits, the Engines of Growth. So Federal Signal's entire business philosophy is perfectly encapsulated in just 3 simple words: moves, cleans, protects. It's a simple mission statement, sure, but it really serves as a structural map for their whole operation. The company breaks down into 2 vital profit-generating segments. You've got the Environmental Solutions Group, which handles the moves and cleans aspect with their heavy industrial trucks. And then you have the Safety and Security Systems Group, which protects through advanced technology and emergency signaling. This really highlights the dynamic contrast at the heart of Federal Signal's whole portfolio. On one side of the coin, you have the Safety and Security Systems Group, characterized by high-tech, digital solutions. On the flip side, the Environmental Solutions Group, defined by rugged, heavy-duty machinery. It's exactly this unique combination of digital smarts and sheer industrial brawn that allows them to so thoroughly dominate municipal and industrial contracts alike. Let's look a bit closer at the safety side of the house first. Federal Signal is packing advanced technology into today's emergency vehicles, equipping first responders with state-of-the-art lighting, sirens, and these fully integrated digital systems. This high-tech segment is, pun intended, quite literally signaling strong growth for the quarter, all while providing critical, life-saving tools to municipalities worldwide. But then we shift gears to the heavy hitters, the Environmental Solutions Group. I mean, look at things like the Elgin plug-in hybrid street sweeper. They aren't just building big, loud trucks here. They are innovating. They're creating eco-friendly, highly efficient machines that cities are absolutely desperate to deploy right now to meet their own green initiatives. By leading the charge in hybrid municipal vehicles, Federal Signal is both literally and financially sweeping the competition off the streets. And honestly, it gets even bigger. Meet 2 mechanical titans. First up is the massive Stripe Hog, which is this water-blasting beast used for highly specialized pavement marking removal. And second, the Vactor 2100i, an incredibly powerful sewer cleaner and vacuum truck. These machines represent massive capital investments for cities and private contractors. They are the unsung heroes out there, doing the dirty work behind those pristine financial metrics we reviewed just a few moments ago.
So, the crucial point here is this. When you see a headline about a company achieving 19% sales growth and raking in $670 million, you have to connect those abstract numbers back to reality to truly understand the business. That record breaking quarter is the direct result of thousands of these tangible, heavy duty vehicles rolling off the assembly line, being delivered and put into active service. It's really a highly physical industrial triumph that's just masquerading as a spreadsheet victory.
All right, let's move on to Section 3, the billion-dollar backlog, looking ahead. Now, this isn't just a case of them fulfilling old contracts and running out of steam, not at all. New business is pouring in at a phenomenal rate. In Q2 of 2026, new orders jumped by $97 million. That's an 18% increase over last year, reaching a staggering $637 million in just 3 months. The demand for their highly specialized vehicles is showing absolutely no signs of slowing down. And that brings us to our final and perhaps most staggering metric of the day. $1 billion. Just think about this for a second. Despite operating at massive capacity to deliver a record-breaking $670 million in sales this quarter, they took in so many new orders that they are still sitting on a massive, highly lucrative backlog of $1 billion in unfilled orders. That is $1 billion of guaranteed future work just sitting squarely on the runway waiting to be built. Which leaves us with a final, provocative question. With a billion-dollar backlog and record-breaking profit margins, what market will Federal Signal sweep up next? Are they going to aggressively expand their eco-friendly hybrid line? Will they double down on high-tech emergency solutions for first responders? The sheer scale of their current pipeline makes their next move incredibly exciting to watch. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, stay focused, and I will catch you next time.